Hello. So we are live and we are just going to kind of find out what is going on. So at the moment, we all know that we have had Celsius kind of gone a little bit down the toilet, should we say. We had 3 Arrows Capital file for bankruptcy also this week. And we also now have Voyager halting all transfers, also withdrawals and any, anything, just anything. They've halted everything. It's all gone. So what it is that we want to jump into is just quickly have a look at what the current situation is. It's not going to be pretty, guys. I'm just going to be, going to have to throw this out there. This is what we're looking at. Look at that. For a chart, it doesn't really look very good. This is very, very bad. This is the Voyager coin. So it's obviously, since April, I know we've been in a bit of a bear market, but, bloody hell. Where are we now? Bomb down here. Nearly 90%. This is kind of why.
Lending space. Voyager is saying that it's temporarily suspending trading, deposits, withdrawals, and all loyalty rewards. That was effective at 2 p.m.
There we go. So where did this all start? I want to walk you through this kind of the journey. So on June the 14th, Voyager looked to distance itself from Celsius amid a crypto bank run. Now, the reason why I want to kind of talk about this bank run is that I think we might see Gemini in a bit of trouble. And also KuCoin have been rumored to have a bit of liquidity issues, I think is probably the best way to put it. But looking back, June 14th, this is where we saw the first signs of Voyager really trying to kind of step away. And then we see later on, 23rd of June, we have Voyager reducing the withdrawal limits to $10,000. And that's amid their massive exposure to 3AC, 3 Arrows Capital. They have in fact gone bankrupt now, as I mentioned earlier. Moving then on just to, how many days ago was that? 5 days ago, Voyager Digital issued 3 Arrows Capital with a default notice. And 3 Arrows Capital kind of just said like, can't really pay you on that one. Sorry, mate. And then, like I said, so today they've halted all trading and withdrawals after 3 Arrows Capital full default. So they're citing current market conditions. Look, there's a bank run happening on all of these crypto lending platforms. And also I would be very kind of cautious now which exchanges you use and which platforms it is that you have money on. So keep this in mind, guys. It's a bit of a warning that right now it's not a great time to be holding money on these platforms. So that's kind of the number one bit of advice, I guess we'll say. So we all know what's kind of going on. What I want to get into is their exposure. So the exposure, as you see here, Voyager Digital said it had loaned 3 Arrows Capital 15,250 Bitcoin. So nearly $300 million. Plus another $350 million in USDC, which is the stablecoin. So currently that's 646. Now they're not going to have to pay all of this back at one point. Usually, like with a loan, obviously you just pay a small amount. You're going to pay interest on that as well, and then they are obviously going to need to get all that money back at some point. And it's just been a very, very bad week for crypto lending platforms in general. And we see down here, as of June 30th, Voyager Digital disclosed it held 685 million worth of crypto assets, but it had loaned out 1.12 billion, which is it's really not good. I mean, how is it that they're going to get that money back? We don't know. And it also held $355 million worth of customers' cash and was holding nearly 160. Well, see, so this is just where it says $168 worth of crypto collateral. I mean, there must be some kind of typo there, because if they're holding just $168, things are a lot worse than what we thought they were. But Voyager Digital, guys, it is a stock on the Canadian, I think it's the Toronto Stock Exchange. That stock price has just tanked. It's, oh my God, it's unbelievable. So that's down 30% just in a day. So, I mean, is it a case of buy the dip? I don't know. They did get from Alameda Research, which is FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, they got their almost 500 million in Bitcoin and also just in cash as well. But as you see here, the stock has tanked. So this is, I'm going to say it's a bit of a nail in the coffin scenario. But the reason why I kind of brought Gemini into this, because I want to get onto that now, is previously, back in January, the SEC is scrutinizing Voyager, Celsius, and Gemini Trust Co., as you see bomb here. So as part of a broader inquiry into companies that pay interest on virtual token deposits. Now, this is obviously, they're going to have the hammer coming down on them very hard again. But I think we should kind of look into how much trouble it is that these crypto lending platforms are going to face. And it's going to be an awful lot, to be honest with you. This is what I believe you can still kind of sign up. You can still give money to them, but you just can't take money out. And there's not really, any sign of like, oh, hey, by the way, guys, a little bit of news. Everything kind of looks pretty good on the surface, which is strange. But just looking into this, we're now seeing this spread very far. So crypto brokerage Genesis Trading faces hundreds of millions in losses. And look, 3AC was actually a very well-respected it was like a darling child during that 2021, should we say, like bull market? It kind of was. It was a bull market. So they actually did really, really well, and I believe only like a month ago, they were holding $10 billion in assets, but they've now gone bust completely. So it's still not good. And this is why the key message is, guys, just whatever exchange it is you're using, I'd say FTX kind of look like they're doing everything right. But saying that, you never know. You just never know. It's all kind of a fugazi, as that scene from Wolf of Wall Street. But, the question is, guys, I don't know how I feel about different crypto brokers. My number one bit of advice is just take your money off the exchanges, because we don't know, we don't know. And then you have things like, look, FTX, they walked away from trying to help Celsius after seeing the state of its finances. Now, I do not believe that Celsius are very different from the likes of the other crypto lending platforms like BlockFi, for example, and obviously Voyager, and potentially, this could be very similar for companies like Gemini, for example. But also KuCoin, as we see here, KuCoin CEO dismissed the rumors of halting withdrawals, but reserves the right to legal action. I don't know if this is one of those things where, we're kind of seeing this and it is true, but he doesn't want to say it is. And then we'll look back and go, well, all of the signs were there. Like, oh, no, that's okay. We're not bankrupt. Don't worry. We're not going to stop you from taking your money out. Oh, it's okay. And then obviously they consequently do, So we see this a lot. And I think looking back now at all of these different bits of evidence, Voyager, you see here, reducing exposure. They probably said a lot in between saying, oh, hey, guys, well, we're not going to disrupt anything. You can still take your money out, because they don't want to cause a bank run on themselves. So all of these little bits of information, these little hints, I think we might see one with KuCoin. So guys, watch out for KuCoin. If you have any money there, I personally would consider taking it off. But we'll have a quick look at Bitcoin, just around that 19,000 level. Where are we? Bitcoin USD. Let's have a look, get ourselves in. So here, fairly decent level of support, but we're still in that downward trend. As you can see, we are, it's not great. Quite nice areas of support around about this kind of 18, especially the 18.5 region. This is where I think we're going to see a lot of support, but we're just in it's lower lows, lower highs. I mean, hopefully this kind of holds, but looking at this downward trend, it's really not ideal. It's going in one direction only. And I think we're probably going to stay at these levels for a lot longer. Like we said, me and AJ have been saying that the bottom is not in yet. I don't think that it is. And when it does come, it's going to stick around for another couple of weeks, to be honest. At least that's my kind of minimum. But I'm going to be saying, I think we're going to see a bottom, I think, the end of next month. And then we're going to have low prices up until about September. And then we're going to start seeing some momentum. And I would then say, you know, we'll be in a good place by December. You know, that's when I'm going to feel pretty confident. But yeah, I think just as I can see here on the screen, Femex, Binance, Bybit, very good. Yeah. Big fan of Bybit, of all three of those, actually. Very, very big fan of those. You know, and I think it's maybe the slightly smaller ones, the one who are slightly, I don't know, it's hard to say, really. It is, because you think, I mean, crypto.com, going and buy, or was it 700 million for the naming rights? That seems like a very bad investment now. I mean, it was good when the market was good, but, you know, now it doesn't seem like a good one anymore. That's a very, very nice bit of information. Huobi founder looking to sell his shares. That, if that's not a sign to get out, I don't know what is. Because why are you selling your shares now when the price is so low? So there must be a fundamental reason why you want to get out. But anyway, look, guys, that's everything from me. Keeping it nice and quick. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Back to business as usual. Take care. Enjoy the weekend and take your coins off of an exchange. Most important thing. All the best.